Hello and welcome back to another Stop Watering Dead Flowers episode. As ever, we asked for people to send in their own stories and you have not disappointed. Wow. Wonderful one here to start the episode. David from Paisley, he said, before he said, I do on his wedding day, he burped. Instead of committing his life to his future wife, he just belched at his beloved. He said sorry, of course, and then the minister said, do you want to try that again? There was a bit of light relief and laughter in the church, and then the second time round, it happened again. It was just nerves. He managed it on the third time, and now they've been married happily for 15 wonderful years. I really do, burp, love her very much. Thank you very much for sharing that horrendous story, David. Shame on you. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Stop Watering Dead Flowers.
Stop watering dead flowers.
I'm delighted to welcome our guest, a good friend of mine now as well. We've joined in many a kind of show together. We'll maybe speak about that a little bit before we delve into the episode. But Des Clarke, comedian, actor, radio host, you do everything.
Yeah, I will do anything for money. And I'm disappointed today there's no fee for this, other than just the enjoyment of hearing that belching story. What's David like?
What a guy.
Unbelievable. What a moment that is. What I do. It's nice. We have worked together quite a lot, haven't we?
Yes, we've known each other from, I guess, the comedy circuit first and foremost, but then we were lucky enough to have you host the Duncan Murray and Judy Murray live shows.
Wow.
And they were great fun.
They were brilliant. They were really, really good. Yourself and Judy.
Yeah.
Riffing off each other.
But I really don't think those shows would have worked if you had not been there to really be the linchpin of the show. Because I think Judy sits there and enjoys it. She's got loads of great stories from over the years of tennis. I barely knew what I was doing a lot of the time. And if you weren't there steering the ship and actually making sure the audience were having a good time and a good laugh, I think it could have failed very badly.
That's very kind of you to say, but I have to say I felt I had the best seat in the house for those shows because Judy actually has some brilliant anecdotes.
Oh man,
some of them pure filth. And so when you're off doing whatever you're doing, becoming a hobby horse rider, she then has this lovely kind of maybe 3 to 5 minutes set piece just to fill it.
Yeah.
And watching her grow as a performer was amazing. And then
great.
watching you say some unbelievable things about Sue Barker over the years. But we've spoken before about how brilliant that character is.
Yeah.
And I just think you two should have had a TV show out of it or something, like a fake docu thing going on. But the people that have convinced themselves that Duncan is a genuine part of the Murray family.
That's the terrifying thing where, online certainly there's people that fall for it hook, line and sinker all the time. But the show we did in Perth, which was the most local one, and then they had the family come down and speak to Duncan, saying that they remembered Duncan from school and, you used to hang about with our son, did you not used to go up to so? And I was so kind of mortified, terrified, but also like worried that I just had to go along with it. So even after the show, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we used to play up round the bit there, and I remember your son, and it was frightening.
So when you're back to the house as well, and I thought he's going deep with this character. But that's brilliant. But that just shows like how it was just nice to be involved in that as part of that journey.
Someone, and actually one of our few genuine patrons as well. Big shout out to David. Thank you for being a patron. He told me...
is it David and Paisley? I'm not sure you want him.
Don't want to blow your cover. But he told me this great story of... this might not be you. I might be getting my Davids confused, but apologies. But someone told me a story of how his wife now, I can't remember if you're married or if it was your partner, is genuinely from Dunblane. And so her kind of, not her party piece, but her gag she would tell people is that, I used to go out with Duncan Murray because she was from Dunblane. And people were like, what, that? I thought he was just we went out. And it's like, what a cool thing to do. That's pretty funny.
I love how other people are writing your backstory now. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember having you on with Judy, and I was doing a little talk show thing at the Fringe.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt that was amazing.
That was the first time I think we really felt like, oh, this could work as a live show, where it was like 20 minutes. You were teeing up stories and just asking questions, and there was just a lot of tomfoolery. Yeah,
that showed that the relationship between you guys, with me prompting it where I could, worked, and then when you put in the bells and whistles of the live show, it's amazing.
It's great fun. Great times.
Great times.
But we're not here to talk about great times. We're here to talk about the most outrageously horrible moments of your life.
Fantastic. Thank you. We balanced a good chat with then going really deep and dark. But you know I'm Mr. Positive.
Exactly. So. I'm sure whatever regrettable or embarrassing moments I was going to say that you might have encountered, I'm sure you've been able to spin it. You've learnt from them. You know,
I'd like to think that.
Everything happens for a reason.
It does.
But where did it all go wrong? Where did it start? What happened to you? But no, we always like to start with the childhood one, get a bit of an insight to childhood. Maybe something happened. What's the one that you've been able to pick out that's kind of stuck in your mind over the years?
Do you know what? It's interesting. I think comedians fall into different camps as a child. I was not the class clown.
Right, yeah.
Very shy. Very, very shy. So there's two, so very introverted.
Yeah.
Very bullied.
Right.
Certainly didn't look in any way half decent, rocking up to school. The homemade haircuts. So it was so I just want to paint the picture of, already I feel like I'm a goal down.
Right.
And, I'm a big snooker fan.
I do.
And it became a while where my haircuts were based on whatever Stephen Hendry was doing with his hair at that time. So he was spiky for a while, bit of a side shed, bit of a middle shed. He went long for a while. So that was my fashion icon.
Right.
Former 7-time world snooker champion. So already I'm there.
You don't get a lot of people saying, oh, you're rocking the Hendry.
They should.
Yeah.
I think we should bring it back. So yeah, obviously no. I mean, I'm a mess. This is from primary school even into secondary school. Confidence isn't there, and I don't feel like in any way I'm a bit of a character. So, and I'm easily led at this stage.
Okay.
So big glasses as well.
Nice.
This was years before the laser eye surgery, and I will date myself because I remember when I got. Big rimmed gold glasses. A guy in the class stood up and just pointed at me and shouted, Rose West. so you can see.
You're like, I was going for Dennis Taylor.
Exactly. I know. Don't you get the snooker theme in my life? So obviously, you can see that I'm not quite a style icon. Confidence is at a low ebb. Easily led. And my friend convinced me that there was one of these like a dress up at school, fancy dress days.
Oh no.
So he wasn't winding me up.
Right.
He believed it as well.
Okay.
So school assembly, picture the scene.
Yes.
100 odd kids, whatever it is, all fully in uniforms, teachers, head teacher, all of that there. And then because of what he said, whether it was around the Halloween, I don't know. If you were just to take a camera, if this is like a comedy movie or a sitcom, you'd pan through all the kids in uniforms, then right in the middle is him as Boy George and me in the full gear as Freddie Mercury. And what was amazing is even as a kid at primary school, I had my own moustache.
Oh, wow.
I had a moustache at primary school. Like, this is, a lot of people don't know this about me. I've got really quick hair growth, quite thick hair.
Yeah.
So, for years I had a back beard, right? So, as a kid, I looked like the Janny. Had like the tash. So I managed to.
No way.
I managed to cultivate the tash.
Which Mercury look was it in terms of outfit?
What do you think?
Is it the full? Is it the vest?
It's exactly that. Do you remember when Gary Mullen, the Scottish guy, won Stars in Their Eyes?
Yes.
That's that look. So it was the yellow jacket, the sort of white, very tight trousers, and the vest.
Yeah.
And and a wee kind of half a mic stand.
Wow.
But that my mate looked amazing as Boy George. Unbelievable. And why we picked two of them, I guess, most gay icon 80s stars.
Yeah.
This would it have been late 80s, maybe a bit late 80s, maybe 90. Probably at the stage where
they'd have been the biggest pop stars in the world at the time.
But maybe a couple of years past where they were that way. But yeah, they would have been at that age and that stage. Had it have been context and everybody else was dressed up.
Yeah.
Been amazing. And yet,
That's a long day at school.
mate, it was a long couple of years after that. if I thought things were bad before, I've condemned myself at that point. Because I told you I was already a goal down.
Oh.
But when you mention things that I vividly remember, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Because there's other moments, there's general things, and I suppose everyone has it, of being embarrassed, falling over, Scottish country dancing.
Oh, yeah.
And
Schoolhood classic embarrassing things.
all of that, Chris, which we all have, and I had all of those. But I think as an iconic moment, as an image, that probably now and again I go, that happened.
We don't all have that. Let me tell you. But I'm actually, it's happened in the past. I always feel, I really connect to people's personal stories where I'm like, I really feel bad for you. I feel bad for the youthful you, but a part of me is going, oh, that's so good that one of your pals had also, like,
yes.
Do you still know that person? Do you
Very
still
much
sometimes kind of go, do you remember that?
Do you remember that? And he's like, he's one of those, he's adamant. He went, it was definitely.
He rocked it. He was
he
singing
rocked it.
Come a Chameleon and just like, what?
What's the problem? Living would be easy if your colours were like my dreams.
Yeah.
He's giving it that, and I'm full Freddie. It's a kind of magic. But we thought we'd be singing. We thought the whole thing. He was adamant that someone somewhere had said, it's fancy dress day, it's wear what you want, it's dress up school thing. Wasn't the case. Full uniform.
I take you must have, like, walking up to the gates, like, there must have been a moment when you clicked, like, oh, wait a minute, I think we've got the wrong end of the stick here.
First of all, you think, idiots.
Yeah.
They've not got the outfit on. They've missed the memo.
All these people that have forgotten.
Oh, you'll be embarrassed in a minute. We in that assembly, we're all sitting there. It's going to be like Live Aid in there. You idiot. So when I saw the first couple of people, I was like, oh. Then you feel a sympathy. Oh, do you know what?
Yeah,
maybe they couldn't get an outfit together.
Yeah, you're feeling bad for them.
Come on, if you'd have talked to me, I could have helped you. George Michael was right there. And then you get into the assembly, and the assembly was first thing in the morning, and it was the primary school. It was in the Gorbals, and I remember it vividly. The chairs lined up, and I'm sat there going, something's not right here. He was like, don't know. He's still adamant they've made the mistake. You know that way, and I love him for that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a wind up, it wasn't a prank, because he's there in the outfit as well. And it's just an admin error.
That's great, though, isn't it? It's good to have a mate that's just a bit more, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he was the guy that talked me into going on stage for the first time. Because when I started secondary school, he was also there. Guy's name was Paul, and he taught me into going on the stage and doing the fun. It was the funny voices at that time.
Okay.
So we did it together. He then dropped out of it later on, so it was just me.
He's like, if you can turn up at school dressed as Freddie Mercury, you can go on stage.
You can do your Chris Eubank.
What's the worst that can?
I felt I peaked immediately at that point.
Man.
That was amazing.
That's a cracker of a story, though, as well. I like it because, that you'll never forget that.
Yeah.
But
you couldn't replicate it.
It's cool. It is. It's kind of iconic.
Aye.
There's probably other kids from your school that talk about that now.
Yeah.
With admiration. Like, at the time, they might have been like, look at these two losers.
Yeah.
But now people are like, those two guys did it, man.
And I look back at that now. Was it worth the 2 years that we had left in school of these two losers? No, it wasn't, because it was embarrassing. But you're right. You look at it with fresh eyes and go, if you can survive that, at that age, impressionable, what, about 9 or 10 years old, you can do anything.
It explains a lot. For anyone listening that doesn't know it, I mean, you kind of radiate positivity and you're always like upbeat. And now I realise that that's because you spent 2 years.
There's a darkness
getting
there.
Teased about dressing like Freddie Mercury.
There's a darkness there.
You're like, no one can touch me now. I've done it.
I've been Freddie. This was my Live Aid, mate.
You Mercury'd yourself, man.
I had Mercury, and it was iconic, classic Mercury.
Wow.
He was amazing as George. And you're right, and we're right in the middle of it, and there's no escape. Once the assembly started, it's everything. It's business about the school.
You can't leave school. You're a school. You can't just leave.
Yeah, but even like the hour of the assembly felt like the longest, because it was hymns. It was like colours of day, and I'm like, wow. I suppose that's kind of works with the character, and you don't expect to bind us together, look like Keen at the full boona. It's the priest came out and did a bit like It was the full formal assembly. Like teachers with business, stuff about litter,
Oh, wow.
the Blue Peter appeal, you know, everything that was the business of the day in that kind of late 80s, 1990 era. And we had to sit through the admin of it.
I can imagine
a full day of classes.
the teachers must have been like, they would have known that this is obviously not, this is a mistake, but they must have tried to be encouraging, like you walk
Yeah.
into class and, oh, Des, and
Yeah,
oh,
it's a
great
lovely
costume, but they must have been pissing themselves in the staff room.
Yeah, of course they were. Of course they were. But we didn't have the uniform. There was no like, can you get changed into? This is it.
Wow.
And they'll, could you at least take the moustache off? I went, you're going to need to give me a Gillette because this is the only thing that's provided by nature. So, but as you say, it's when you think about even the business of the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And then the whole, what was that all about? And you get people that meet me. What I usually get is people that knew me at school that say, I'm surprised you went on to do with what you did because you were so quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
Brackets maybe a bit weird.
But that's a lot for comedians, isn't it? That's the common misconception. Everyone's like really bubbly and confident, but it's mostly we're all full of insecurities and just
Definitely.
and scarred.
Yeah. We were and I was scared. I was. It was difficult. Like, it's hard to come back from.
I never dressed up as anything when I shouldn't have, but me and my pal that were basically the only two folk that were into basketball in a tiny village that I grew up, we went to the barbers, and I spoke about this when I did my 90s niche basketball show, Court Jester, and we asked for them to put in like initials like MJ into the back of my head, and then the number 23 into the back of my mate's head, which was the number that Jordan played, number 23.
Wow, yeah, iconic.
But I mean, even just going into regular barbers and asking, they were looking at us like, you know, they're used to just like short back sides, one all over. There was nothing. And I was like, we want like, can you do letters like initial? But then like between me saying M, J, and like him beginning that part, he must have just he didn't care who Michael Jordan was or anything, but he ended up putting MF in the back of my head. So then I just had these random initials, MF, in the back of my head. Like,
no, I know that can seem rude in my head. I've gone straight to Michael Flatley. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Like I had a few just kind of motherfucker shouts and stuff.
Yeah.
And like James had the number 23, and because we knew it's Jordan, it seemed to make perfect sense. But the slagging that people can give you for
you think that's bad. Imagine and I'm going, can you make me look like Stephen Hendry? Don't say you don't know who he is. But that something like that lives with you. A bad haircut will follow you.
Oh boy.
And the bowl cut and the mum doing it at home as well.
Yeah.
And there comes a point, I think, in a guy's life where you just settle on the haircut you've got. If you were to dramatically change it.
Yeah, you got to Paul Scholes it, man. You know when you see the image of like Paul Scholes through the years, he has never changed. Like other footballers will have different. Scholes, he looks the same the last 30 years.
You're right.
You got to look it up if you're a football fan, or just a continuity fan of haircut.
Yeah,
Scholes nailed it early days.
He decided at 17, this is it.
Yeah,
and I think he's a creature of habit,
mate. You got to look it up at this image of Paul Scholes through
and
the
it's
years.
just like
nothing's changed.
What a maestro.
That's how you do it. He's like, I'm not getting bullied for anyone.
Yeah, exactly. I'm already ginger. Let's not encourage them. And that was it. And moments like that, that's the one. If you were asking me about one, that's an image. And that was a time where it was a real sliding doors moment.
It's a good one as well because it feels like an iconic moment. That does feel like TV film worthy. Like whenever they go on to make a biopic of your life, they'll do that.
They'll find the hairiest child they can and say, you've got it. Do you know Freddie Mercury? It's fine, we'll teach you.
Wow.
But yeah, that would, you're right, that would be a scene. If you were to do a film of your life, that would definitely be a scene in there. It's just so bizarre.
But nice to hear that story as well, given the fact that it features your mate that encouraged you to then like get up, do it, get on stage for the first time, perform.
Because I had no confidence.
Yeah.
None whatsoever. I know people, when you end up doing this and they see like a version of yourself that's further on, they don't see the years of self-doubt. They don't see all the gigs where you die. They don't see you as a kid saying, I could never do that.
And it's something that naturally breeds confidence. When you start off, you don't have it, but because you're doing it, it's just like anything. It's becomes muscle memory and habit.
Seen it. And when you see, all right, that's what happens, you get the laugh.
Yeah.
and it comes back at you.
Yeah.
And then it's, all right, I'll need to try and figure out why I don't get that all the time.
It's great. I feel like we've heard your origin story in many ways there.
You have, absolutely.
Wow.
From the beginning, and then that's what took me to the stage.
And you got, so like you obviously you finished school, I think you were quite young in terms of when you got into comedy or entertaining and presenting and all of that. So if we're looking at maybe a career moment, where have you managed to pick one out from? Because you've had such a wide, varied career. I can imagine a kind of moment of regret happening all over the place. Really.
I've been very lucky. I started young, but when you start young, so I did a comedy workshop with Viv G.
Oh yeah,
who's amazing.
Big shout out to Viv G. She teaches a comedy course and has taught, I don't know, like 8 out of 10 comedians you'd meet in the street in Scotland. She's probably taught them.
I would agree with that. They've been through her doors, and I was 17 at that time.
Right.
And then I did that. I did the class that was off the back of it. There was a performance, and that was at Blackfriars. And then I took a pause, and then about the age of 19, I did it. And I managed to do quite well in the open mic competitions really quickly. Right. That meant that I got sent into gigs that I was nowhere near ready for.
Aye.
And when you're that kind of maybe 19, 20, 21, and you're standing on stage in Jongleurs Watford, that you've made a mistake. I had to get Ricky Grover to save me.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if you know Ricky Grover, fantastic stand-up comedian, brilliant actor as well. One of his characters was Bulla. What? I'm a lovely guy, but I can't go naughty. So he was, I mean, that's not right, but he was an ex-boxer, and an actual fight broke out.
Right.
I remember, this wasn't even the story I was going to tell you, by the way, in terms of a regret, but I remember being on stage, Jongleurs Watford, because I was doing the circuit down there and it was Battersea. Yeah. Camden was the better one.
Right.
But those kind of clubs.
Portsmouth, Jongleurs.
All of those, Chris, you'll have done them. They were an education. And this was like, you know, the audience didn't like the guy from Newcastle that was on before me because he was too northern. And then it was the compliment, well, you're going to love this guy. And I was new and Scottish, and obviously they did not love me. And a proper fight broke out in the crowd.
Wow.
Guy got glassed. And Ricky Grover, I think he was headlining, he'd take him on, and he actually took the mic off me and compared the fight.
Wow.
He talked through it, and he talked people literally down off a ledge. And it was, again, if he's making his story, if he remembers that would go in there.
Yeah.
It was like a painting, it was like a tableau.
And that's just the experience then, wasn't it? He'd been going for longer. He's like, I can just deal with this. He's probably seen mad shit break out before.
Brilliant comedian, seen it all, and was physically, I think he was from near the area, physically a bigger guy, and he was able to talk everyone through it. And he actually got the guy that was glassed to hug the guy that glassed him.
Unbelievable.
So, I mean, that happened. And but that, again, obviously, I was too young.
What a place to cut your teeth, though. When you see stuff like that starting out, you do think, oh, like, is this comedy as well? Because I did a very early gig starting out with the Reverend Obadiah Steppenwolf III.
Wow.
Incredible act, great, but it was a mad, just wee pop-up gig in somewhere outside Linlithgow. And there was a bunch of folk on leave, actually, like army guys there. And he was just, if you've never seen the Reverend Obadiah Steppenwolf III, I don't know, controversial is not even the word. I mean, he'll pick every kind of taboo. He's brilliant, but he'll go for every taboo possible. And just a huge thing broke out in the stage because they didn't like him, and then someone launched a chair at him. And he'd been going for a long time. He's very comfortable, and he just started going, this is the kind of time where people like me and Chris, we think we should have stuck in at school. And I was just like a year on the circuit thinking, God, yeah, like what am I doing?
And by the way, wow, well done for that. I remember being on stage with the Reverend Obadiah Steppenwolf III, and he had something called the Sunday service at the State Bar.
Yeah.
And I was on with Des McLean.
Okay.
And this is, I mean, none of this I was ever thinking I was going to talk about or ever would again. But if you want to talk about moments that stick out, we were on in character. I can't remember if we were hooded or I definitely visually faithful, where you could see us as the Mellow Tip Fellowship. So I remember it so vividly. I don't know, for some sort of cult. And we're going to sing Mellow Tip Fellowship, some sort of druid chant.
Right.
And we walked on stage, and I remember I had to rub him with Sudocrem
Nice.
as part of the sort of cult act.
This feels very on brand. This will sound weird if you don't know what we're talking about, but this sounds absolutely normal.
Yeah, this is where you go, what am I doing? I mean, you're talking about instant regret. This is at a stage where I was just breaking through. I was thinking career might be going okay, getting a bit of telly.
Yeah, please, not all gigs like today are filmed back then.
That's exactly it. If I walked on stage like I did then and we were breaking eggs on each other and singing that song and putting cream and then walked off, and then I was a preacher for another point of the show called Apollo Mission. I don't know why none of this stuff took off. The Reverend was great, and that was his thing, but we were kind of other characters within the piece. And again, I mean, they're both of those stories are actually better in terms of regret, work-wise.
No, I know. I've sidetracked us thinking of these mad moments, but
well, I tried to think of something that wasn't a gig.
Yeah, good. That's good.
But there's a couple of gigs that stand out for, and there's ones where I've walked off stage, but only once or twice. Yeah, and just because not with the audience, I just thought I was terrible.
Yeah, aye.
But this was it involved Judy Murray.
All right, good.
And it was I've got a habit of not being able to say no. And then when the TV stuff started, I just thought, this won't last forever.
Yeah.
And I'll just keep saying
Say
yes.
yes to everything, yeah.
So they did this wonderful show called Des Doesn't Do.
Okay. Oh, yes.
And I just had to say, whatever you say, I'll do it.
Oh, no.
So it started off, it was a Sport Relief special, the Des Clarke Triathlon, TRY. So it was trying new things I'd never done before. That spawned Des Doesn't Do. So every episode had to be me teaming up with a celebrity, and they would help me try things that I'd never done before. I could pick any of these. Any of these.
I remember specifically the dog one, because I never knew that you hadn't liked dogs, really. I had a bit of a fear of them.
So scared of them, Chris.
Yeah. And they made you wear the big dog suit thing.
That's so unsafe. That was so unsafe. they made me wear this big, so I could have picked any of these. That one I'll take as a starter. This is instant regret because TV. This is filmed in one go with 2 cameras and it's done.
Yeah.
But Chris, you've done TV. You never just film something once.
No.
You film it 5, 8, 10, 12 times. I've got the scariest Alsatian. I'm in this big kind of puffer jacket thing that they use for police dog training. I was down, I think I was somewhere in the north of England.
Yeah.
And the idea was to have this almost aversion therapy to get me over my fear of dogs, to introduce me to dogs in the scariest scenarios.
How did this happen? This feels like going back 40 years where they're like caught smoking and they're like, you're going to smoke a pack of cigarettes. Like,
that's exactly it. The dog has no context for this. So this was a retired old Alsatian that had done his service, a brilliant dog, and the owner, everybody was fantastic, but I had to stand in this field. There was a whole bit of business with Love Island contestant Laura Anderson encouraging me, and then just producers and directors saying, off you go. And they were winding the dog up.
Release the hound.
It's exactly, mate. That was the vibe. The dog was trained to get criminals, people that had drugs, people that escaped for the jail, and the dog was just set on me, and it took me off my feet. The dog was massive. It was like the size of a bear, man.
They're stuffing heroin up the suit before they release him.
I smell like half of Colombia. They had every kind of thing up there, narcotics. And honestly, Chris,
you got to look this up. If you're listening to this and haven't seen it, you got to look up the Des Doesn't Do the dog episode.
Look up the dog episode.
There's a clip of the dog coming at you. It's brilliant.
They also put a blindfold on me and made me walk through Dundee with a white stick. And they're like, you need to put your faith and trust entirely in this guide dog.
Oh my God.
So I couldn't see, and I had to walk through Dundee being led through by a guide dog, because this was to show now you've got ultimate trust. The whole episode.
It really feels like they went deep end with every
I was dog
method.
sitting, training dogs. I had to get in a doggy play area, doggy daycare. Then I had to learn how to speak dog. Then I was attacked by the Alsatian, and then I was
We're just going to let the dog bite you now, Des. So you can see it's not that bad.
We had to do it so many times with that lovely old Alsatian. They're like, we need to give the dog a break. What about me? He's running and just jumped on me. I'm getting attacked. We need to give the dog a break. Well, I'm a real person here. It was, they had absolutely, it made for unbelievable telly. It was unbelievable. So here's the other challenge. I'm sat in a tattoo parlour in Paisley.
Oh, boy.
And my celebrity helper is someone that got a tattoo later in her life. And it's Judy Murray.
Judy.
Your friend of mine.
She's got the spider thing, doesn't she?
Yeah, which is important to her. And she explained this great story on camera and
right.
says, well, look, you've obviously not somebody that got tattoos when you were younger. So I'm here to tell you that actually it can mean something and it can make a big difference to you. And you should go for it. So every episode I had the option whether to take on the challenge or not. And she is very persuasive and very encouraging. And they got me as far as the tattoo parlour in Paisley. And at that point, I had to get it done. And I'd given the guy the note for what I wanted to get done.
What was it?
I wanted my heartbeat. And within the heartbeat,
oh, like the line,
the wave patterns would have just my initials DC. I think nothing screams midlife crisis more than this tattoo. Nothing screams more than, look, it's just going to be a line.
Yeah.
So it'll be quicker, it'll be easier. It's down here. In fact, I've still...
Have you still?
Dead quick.
Oh, wow.
So again, for somebody else...
Look at that.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
So that's my heartbeat. And this was got a few years ago. And there's in the middle of it, there is a DC. Again, you can see I've not shaved my leg for an hour. So that's why... That's how hairy it will get. So it was down there, and again, Chris, I did it because I thought, look, nobody will really see that too often. If it doesn't work, etc., keep it simple.
Yeah.
And I needed to give an answer at the production meeting, but
was it painful?
Yeah,
because it's the kind of thing I've flirted with.
Yeah,
and I sometimes worry that I just can't hack the pain because I'm pathetic.
It's what. Yes, all of that.
Right.
I wouldn't say you get used to it, but it's like an uncomfortable. Now that would be any person that's had a tattoo would say that's the most easy one. That's and I don't know if that's a sore area or not, but it was quite quick. I didn't have my heartbeat.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be my heartbeat, and the whole story was that would mean even when I passed, that the heartbeat that I have would still live, and I would be immortal and live forever. We loved that. We didn't have that. So I said to the guy he was going to do it freehand.
Right.
Whether this is true or not, he still had to get a heartbeat for reference.
Right.
I've been told that's Miley Cyrus's heartbeat. I have been told Miley Cyrus has an irregular heartbeat. For some reason, there was a monitor with the heartbeat on it.
Yeah.
That she must have
There's an image out there.
There's an image out there of her kind of a regular heartbeat that shoots something down like that. She's got some sort of heart skips a beat thing. And for reference, he goes online and went, actually, what does a heartbeat look like? And that's what he took.
No
So
way.
for some unknown reason, Inked Forever. You talk about, I don't. Miley Cyrus is brilliant, a fantastic artist, but I wouldn't probably have said, do you know what I'd love? Going forward for the rest of my life, I have one tattoo, by the way. That's it.
You're not going to get another one.
No! And I've got my initials intertwined with Miley Cyrus's heartbeat on my leg.
That is mad.
And I had it done at a tattoo at Parlour in Paisley, being filmed with Judy Murray holding my hand. Now, all of that is brilliant, and actually... I don't regret getting the tattoo done, but I'd probably not have opted for that one and that specific one. And it was all done for a gig because I didn't want to let MD down, and I just thought, let's do it.
That is the most, because so many people have regrettable tattoos, but normally, if it's like an ex or just something they got when they were young, they don't like it, so they cover it up. But I've never heard of it one so random.
It's so random, mate. It's so random. But he needed, because that way. People, it's not, nothing's as planned as you think it is. People think TV's planned and everything. It's all last minute.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's last minute. What are we doing today? Because we filmed all of those at the one time. So I could be out with a dog 1 minute. The next minute, I've got a wetsuit on swimming. The next minute, I'm learning to cook in a chef school. The next minute, it's a tattoo one now. And you speak to the guy and I went, we've not spoken in a while. So you know the idea. Yeah. I've got something for this. I've got something for it. But they told me, but he had to look up a heartbeat for reference.
Yeah.
And the what I got was that. That's what I got told. That's where he got it from.
What an elaborate way to hide the fact that you're just a massive Miley Cyrus fan.
Brilliant. She is brilliant.
What a load of
Miley, if you're watching, I think Miley Cyrus has done one of the best cover versions of a song I've ever heard.
Which one?
Heart of Glass.
Oh, really?
Blondie's
Aye.
Heart of Glass. It's a very good one.
Bloody hell.
I've got that tattooed the other leg. No. But I don't know whether to get another tattoo. This
Right.
can't just be
That's
the one
actually one that you're like,
that means something.
yeah.
But that's to try and establish what that is. Not that this doesn't, but you know.
Mad.
Or do I get my own heartbeat and try and scan it across the top of it? But then it'll just look like Miley and I are together forever.
Yeah.
You know, what's that?
I was supposed to, I talk about this on stage sometimes, but I wanted to get a tattoo. But like you say, it felt very much like classic midlife crisis
Yes,
reaction.
That's what I was worried about.
Or early midlife crisis. Well, maybe more than midlife if staying in Scotland. But I woke up on my 40th and basically said that morning, I was like, I think I'm going to get a tattoo. And like, Eleanor was like, I think you're overreacting.
Yeah.
And she did say to me at the time, why don't you wait till you're 41st? Because then you'll know it's not knee-jerk reaction. You've had a year to think, no, I still do want it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I don't have a tattoo, so I kind of talked myself off the ledge of them. But I actually still do want to get one.
Yeah.
And so hearing this has actually filled me with fear.
Yeah, it should. Has it inspired you for any design ideas? Did you have one in mind that you were going to...
Yeah, I had a kind of design in mind. I did have a design, but it was on my arm and stuff, and it was going to be kind of to do with family and, you know, my
Which is nice.
daughter,
It's the way
and
it should
nice.
be.
But I just, panicked that I was just doing it because of my age.
Yeah.
But I think I might do it. We're expecting another child. And so now I'm like,
Congratulations.
thank you. And now I'm like, well, now I have to wait for them to arrive so I can get a sense of who they are. Because the original design was
Yeah.
like, this symbol will be for our daughter, one for my wife. And now I'm like, it would have been kind of crap for the new edition if they're like, how
You
come I
say
wasn't
that.
part of that?
I know. Well, you could just get the tattoo and they have
Yeah.
to fit the personality type that it is.
Yeah.
So if it's like a cheeky monkey, then that's what they've got to be.
Something to think about, but that's great. That's a great moment.
Real,
I mean,
yeah.
quite a lot of moments.
There's
That
a
are
lot in
all,
there.
I mean, but as a kind of, I wish that was my own heartbeat. That's a great.
That's
a great
all I
thing.
would say. I wish that was my own heartbeat. Is that too much to ask?
But it's
And
kinda
and I
nice.
can't reverse it.
What a lovely through line that you've got these kind of musical mishaps and misunderstandings from your
Yeah.
childhood one to your
Yeah.
career one.
There's a great collaboration. There's a great mixtape
Yeah.
throughout all of this.
I can't wait for your relationship tale to feature some kind of obscure musical.
Well, when I was dating Alanis Morissette, relationships, obviously always tricky.
Yeah.
I felt like as an overarching regret, I regret not being able to drive
Oh yeah.
for a lot of that.
Especially actually as an aside in comedy and gigs starting out, driving such a big thing.
I agree. And I now think, because I can drive, but I wonder how I coped before. So I gave
Yeah.
myself a lot more hassle.
But I can see that definitely in the dating game, they kind of, I'll pick you up and
I could never do that.
yeah.
We'll share a bus. I think the taxi's coming now. I felt like that stopped me
Aye.
from being as successful or as confident
Yeah.
as a dating person would be, and I was a lot later to driving,
Yeah.
and to the point where I think I was that age when I walked into the place for the examination that I think that a lot of people were almost like half my age,
Right.
just wondering what life decisions I'd made. Was it the examiner? Was I somebody's parent? Or was I trying to get my license back?
Yeah, yeah.
The assumption was that I'd done something to say, why are you in your late 30s
Yeah, yeah.
going for this for the first time? And as an aside, the radio was on whilst the test was going on.
No.
Breaking the news.
Oh my God.
Breaking the news was playing on the
the
radio.
pressure. Did he acknowledge it?
Yeah.
Did he? Oh
Yeah.
man.
You should have switched it off. And I went, no, actually, I want to hear this bit. So I fluked a pass in
Wow.
that. So that, again, that was a turnaround. So that was a regret that I could turn around. But I think as an individual moment, for all of these things, I tried to think of,
Yeah.
One of those-
The one that might keep you up at night if it pops into your head.
it was what I thought was a private moment
Okay.
with a then girlfriend. And it was the good stuff. It was underwear.
Okay.
But it was like, it was good.
Yeah.
It was just a present for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we'd sort of spoken about it before. And it was agent provocateur.
Oofed.
So it wasn't cheap, Chris.
Here we go.
And this was not, I mean, this was stand-up gig money alone that I was making. So I'd rolled the dice and a lot of bus fares at that point. So I bought her a lot. I try and make a real effort for a Christmas present.
Right.
I didn't know, this is my first Christmas with her, that it was a family thing that they opened all the presents together. Together, man. Now, when I say I gave her two options,
Oh no.
and there was no crotch in this underwear. This was what I would call very much for the hoose. And she'd never been a cleaner, but apparently she was going to be a saucy maid. This is embarrassing, right? And I've never actually said it before, but it was all part of the chat.
Yeah,
it didn't
yeah.
come uninitiated. So
No.
I thought, you must have known
Yeah.
this was coming. Afterwards, she said, no, I effing didn't know this was coming. What were you thinking? So she and I, do you know that way? What's worse about the moment is sometimes things just happen,
Yeah.
but when you know it's about to happen. So with the other things, when they happened, and it was only when I went into the school did I realise that I was dressed in the wrong stuff. But when I saw the brother opening the gift, the mum, like the extended family,
You've got that the dread bills, the anticipation of
like
knowing
the niece and all that,
the tsunami wave is approaching.
and you know that way, it's like
Can't do anything.
it's like you pray for a fire alarm, but it's no
Yeah.
school. Like you want it not to happen.
And even if you raised concern, they'd be like, "Why is he being so weird about that?"
You can't, because
So-
why is he not?
Yeah.
Well, don't be silly. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
And you always take a risk when you buy clothes. All that. Maybe best not to.
Yeah.
Mate, one by one they got opened. And the jewellery was fine.
Yeah.
In fact, it was like, this is silver, I prefer gold. So I thought, if you've got a problem with that,
Oh no.
you're not going to love what happens next.
Were you trying to cover it? Were you?
Distraction.
Oh.
I think that's...
Oh, that's one's for me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, how did that get in there? What's that in the I think that's somebody at your door.
Yeah.
You know that way that you wanted to get in to try and... But it was it was like lots of different things within a box. And I put like tissue paper. I'm not a rapper.
Yeah.
So I bought a big box, tissue paper. And one by one, as she's opening all the gifts, I know that she's going to come to the underwear. And it was... the gentlemen were like... That was brave. Her mother wanted to
Disgusted.
assassinate me. Disgusting. What a pig. How dare you? Because then all you can do is picture her wearing it, which to be
Yeah.
honest was my main motivation for the purchase. What made it, did it take the edge off it or did it make it worse? I don't know there was a sort of running joke, but that wasn't the last gift she opened.
Oh.
And it was not... It was something else that took batteries. It was not what you think. I don't know why, but I bought her an Elmo. so for some reason there was an Elmo thing going on.
It's even more freakish.
So
What is he? What's he using that for?
Why has he really got to get to Sesame
Like,
Street?
that was a bit perverted, but now it's weird. What?
Why is he tickling her? And when in that context of the Christmas, the big celebration, I can still smell the turkey one by one. And I tried, you know that way when you think, we've been together not a year, but not far off it.
Right.
You're giving them the eyes. You know you're giving the partners the eyes.
Like, yeah.
And she's just like, can't wait, can't wait. I think that's pressure, full stop.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be opening in front of the rest of the group. But when you know that you put in lingerie, two items, and an Elmo,
Wow.
how do you come back for that?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. And anyway, we didn't. We're not together.
What did she get you that year? I'm curious then.
Nice
Like
thing.
something.
Oh, do you know what it was? I actually kind of do remember this. She got me clothes
Right.
because she said, I'll go first. I think I've taken a bit of a risk.
But it was like crotch included.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I've taken a bit of a risk and I thought, no, you haven't.
Yeah. It was just a different brand of
Yeah.
polo shirt or something.
And I think we saw each other in a different way. Because I had definitely had conversations with her about this, and I'd love all that. And it was there, and she got me like a granddad shirt and ill-fitting jeans. But listen, I've still got the jeans. But it was weird. Yeah, I think going round the room, I think in terms of relationshipy things.
Yeah,
that's probably it. Because I think this was the same one where I remember being on the couch with her.
Right.
And don't worry, this isn't going to go too detailed, Chris. Don't. But I remember, like, it was happening.
Aye.
And I remember she stopped and said, "Wait a minute."
Oh.
And I thought, she's
Off to get the maid.
or Elmo. And I was like, you know, that couple of minutes you're like that,
Yeah.
just checking yourself out and like that. She's like, have I got time to get deodorant on here? And I thought, why is she, she had to go and come back. And she came back to the couch and from behind her back produced a pair of tweezers. She says,
no.
Your eyebrows are a disgrace. And then she started the ingrown hairs. And I thought, yeah, this isn't happening.
Oh, my days.
Yeah.
These are great.
They're great. They're true. They're real to life and they're very close to home. And again, it's so weird, the little moments that stick with you. But I think when you are young, already a wee bit insecure, and you're trying to get in with the in-laws,
I
think to have saucy underwear opened and coat ruining Christmas.
Wow.
But you know what? Scotland, they never said anything to me. They never said that was a bit... But that... Can I say this? That made it worse.
Yeah.
Do you know
it
what
would
I
have been
mean by
easier
that?
to just acknowledge it and be like, so that's a bit embarrassing.
Yeah, I think that was probably a wee gift that was meant for your private
but they
time.
all just went...
Graham, you next. It was one of those. Yeah. So, yeah, that was probably, in terms of a cringe moment, that sticks out.
Mate,
It still does.
that's a beautiful one to share.
True.
Do you know what? I bet you've given her and her whole family a mad story that they all tell like every Christmas. Like, remember
Especially
that one Christmas her boyfriend Des?
Yeah. Well, especially if I often pop up on TV at Christmas.
Yeah.
So the memories are linked to that time period. When they're sitting there going, I wonder who's... Oh, there he is, the pervert. Did we ever find out what the Elmo was for? No, absolutely not. Still, though, the jewellery was awful. It was costume jewellery days. I mean, But that's... that is...
Wow.
As you say, I think with it's like comedy, tragedy plus time equals comedy or whatever it is, I think that then gives them a story.
Oh, yeah.
But at that point, picturing me, picturing her, everyone was getting pictured.
Well,
that way you look back and go, could have joked my way out of it.
yeah.
Why have you got me to? Your mum's looking good. No,
If they'd been edible underwear, just for the dinner, I hear they go well with turkey.
And you've got lovely giblets. I'll get my coat. But again, I was not confident. Not see in that situation. You're not a comedian anymore.
No.
You're a gibbering wreck.
Yeah.
And that was total cringe. If I could have taken that back, I would have.
Well, I think that's a beautiful place to finish this episode because that's an image we can all have now.
Yeah. I mean, I've kept the underwear, so that's if you want a bonus.
But thank you for sharing. All these stories have been great, actually, as well, and amusing, I think, as well. Nice, like horrible moments that have been turned into quite comedic moments.
Yeah, and they were easy because every time when you said to think about these things, those ones just effortlessly came into my head.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes we would do a wee plug for like a Patreon bit at the end, but this has been a banner episode already. So maybe what we'll do is we'll go back and take one of the stories and add it on because that's a great episode's worth of stuff.
If you're happy with that, I'll take it. If you ever have me back on, I will tell you about the regretful mistake that I made that nearly got me killed.
Oh my days.
One day I'll tell it. I've never told it in public. One day I'll tell it.
That's a good teaser. I will definitely want to hear that.
A handgun was involved.
Consider what? I can't believe we're finishing.
But we'll do it one day.
Yeah.
Well, I maybe need to process that a bit more.
We'll do it a day when both our cameras are still on.
Hang on, has one of the cameras failed again?
Yeah,
oh,
but just because we're filming in such high quality that the memory runs out. This is why we need more Patreons to sign up so
Get
we can
involved.
afford better gear.
It can't just be that David from Paisley guy that was burping his way through life.
But no, thank you very much, Des. This is, I can't tell you the exact time that this, I believe as we're speaking now, it's perhaps mid to end September.
Yeah.
Yes, isn't it? How the nights are drawing in.
How they are drawing. I love that autumn season.
What have you got coming up? Where can people find you? What's going on?
I think for the end of the year, the main thing for me, there's the couple of things going on. Breaking the news.
It's brilliant.
And it's a special one for us. And you've been in the hot seat as host as well.
Oh, yeah.
And many times a panellist. 10 years of Breaking the News
10
this
already?
year. 300 plus episodes. So we've got the special episode coming up celebrating
Nice.
10 years. Then right through to the end of the year. So that's not only on Radio Scotland, that's on BBC. And then we'll have Breaking the Year. So that'll run basically in the next couple of weeks. That'll start and that'll take us through to the end of the year.
Brilliant.
And I should also say Heart Breakfast. We've
Yes.
revamped that. That's just my daily. I have such a laugh doing that show.
Yeah.
We just have fun. There's a great team there, and play a few songs, and it's a good way to get people going in the morning, and it gets me up and out of bed. So there you go. If you can tune into any of that or come and see me live, then I will gladly tell you that other story that I've kept back at this stage.
What a tease. Well, thank you very much for having on. What a positive and uplifting episode.
Hey.
We hope you've enjoyed. Once again, big thanks to Sean Stables on sound and video here as well. We've got Chris Thorburn editing. A big thanks to the Stand Comedy Club who let us record and film in here. As this is coming out, it's actually going to be in its new home as well. So that's very exciting. Do check the place out. And as ever, please do like, share, subscribe, all the things you're supposed to do with podcasts. Thanks for listening.